And so what did you net? Did you sell it for the 265?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And then you closed, and how much did you make?
$60,000, man.
Oh.
Net. 60K.
Imagine every single day you go to work and you look at a computer screen, and on that computer screen gives you the instructions on the buttons that you're going to push. And when you push those buttons, a machine turns on. When that machine turns on, a certain wire comes out of that machine and it gets spooled up, and that's what you do. And you do that 8 hours a day, every single day, day in, day out, for a lifetime, for a career. You're going to do that every single day. Unless you made the decision that you're going to do something different and that you have a different brain. You're not like everybody that stays in that position for their entire life. You know that you've got something. You got more inside you that you want to do. You have a burning desire to be financially free, and you don't want to push buttons every day. You don't want to ask people for vacation time. You don't want to have to go in there and essentially just wait for the day that maybe potentially a robot takes your job or somebody else takes it because you're fortunate to have that. No, what you're going to do is you're going to use your brain, your skills, your ability, your communication to go out every single day and talk to distressed property owners, and you're going to change your financial trajectory. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And that is the story of who I have on the podcast today from Oxford, Alabama. It's the second time, and I'm so happy about this. The second time, by the way, he's made over $100,000 in the last year from his wholesaling and real estate efforts. But it is my absolute pleasure to bring back on Jamari DeAndre Thomas to the podcast. Say hello, Jamari.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing, man? I'm glad to be back for the second time, man. Just crazy to hear you say $100,000, man. That's insane. As a side hustle. Man.
As a side hustle. But the interesting thing is, if it were me, I'd be out of that job already. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people listening are like, "Well, did he really make $100,000? Why would he stick at his $50,000 job if he already made $100,000?" But you know something that most people don't know. You understand that you build up a nice nest egg before you go full time into this business. Even if you have proof of concept, it makes you feel a lot more powerful. Before this podcast started, you were like, "I feel so confident." I feel so confident because I've got a really, really, really good amount in your savings, and you're almost there. The number is $120,000 before you quit that, before you go into this business full time and fire your boss forever. But why? Why not just do it now?
Man, I guess the main thing for me, man, is being consistent. You know, whenever I can get that 3 to 5 deals a month closing consistently, man, that's going to get me out of there. You know, that's why that number is where it's at. Or if it's 3 to 5 deals a month, because, you know, I'm not doing deals every month. Sometimes it's every couple months, and sometimes I go it went 5 months, you know, but still, just joining the program, man, just taking that chance on you guys, man, getting that American Express card, swiping it for $5,500, not having it in my bank account, so that way I had to pay it off and I had no more excuses. Just huge blessing, man. So I got that paid off in a few months when I first joined last year. So
yeah, I remember you paid it off real quick.
Man,
why aren't you consistent?
Man, I guess I don't think I'm doing enough cold calling. So like I say, I work a full-time job. I'm doing it by myself. But actually, recently here last week, I just hired a cold calling team, virtual assistant and a cold caller. So I'm getting ready to try to scale this thing, man, and really attack it this year. So this big deal that I just closed, man, hopefully give me a lot of momentum, man. I'm ready for it. So no more excuses. It's time to do it.
So what is your schedule like with work?
I work 6 to 4 Monday through Friday.
And then when do you carve out and set aside the time and make it sacred time for your real estate business?
Man, usually just the weekends and on Fridays too. Because when I get off, I go to the gym, work out 2 hours a day, and then about the time I get home, I meal prep. So I'm not really getting in bed till about. Well, I go to bed early anyway. I go to bed about 7:30 because I'm up every morning about 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning. Man, I'm an old man, man. So I go to bed early. 26 years old. Go to bed at
Tw-
7 o'clock.
26 years old.
Yes, sir.
You are young. I love it. You work out 2 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Yes.
2 hours a day?
Man, that's what I used to do, man. And when I lost a lot of weight, I lost over 100 pounds.
What?
Yeah, I was 350, got down to 215, working out 2 hours a day, eating
Hold
healthy.
on a second. I'm going to ring this bell just for
Oh,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
Now listen, that is usually reserved for the victory bell is usually reserved for closing deals, but 100 pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
Crazy,
gosh.
man.
Absolutely.
Ever heard of bodybuilding.com?
Yep.
I got posted on their website, man, for like the best transformation, dude, and I ended up getting like 600 followers, and that was just insane. Just because I've always been the big kid, I was a nose guard in football, I was a lineman, and then I got all the way down looking like a wide receiver, man. It was crazy. But now I'm back about 260, hitting the weights hard, eating a lot of protein, man. Just repped out 315 for 12 reps last week. It's on my Instagram, so y'all need to go check that out. So
Oh my gosh.
get strong, man.
What's harder, doing wholesale deals or losing 100 pounds?
Man, probably losing 100 pounds, man. You got to be disciplined. You got to, man. It's like a job. You got to do it every day, being consistent. So I'm trying to use that aspect and put it into my wholesaling business. Because if I can lose 100 pounds, man, I can do anything in this world. So that's what I'm trying to get more at: being consistent, being disciplined every day.
And changing everything. You're talking about to lose 100 pounds. I mean, you're talking about diet, you're talking exercise, you're talking sleep, you're talking everything changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes. So what made first? I mean, this obviously is not a bodybuilding podcast, but I want to spend a minute here because I think it's absolutely incredible. What was the decision?
Man,
I mean, what made the decision?
I got
Do you know what
tired
I mean?
of looking at myself every day in the mirror, man, not feeling comfortable with my body, man. I was a guy, going to the beach, keeping my shirt on. I was like, man, a lot of people are okay with that. A lot of people don't even look at themselves in the mirror, man, but sometimes you got to. I just looked at myself in the mirror one day, man, I said, man, I can't keep doing this to myself. I got to do something about it. And that just changed my mindset ever since then, man. So I was finally able to go to the beach, take my shirt off, feel comfortable, man. It was this huge, huge blessing, man. Just mental too, man. It just changes everything, man. Man. That's,
Well, listen, decisions determine outcomes.
yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean?
Mhm.
And just the fact that you looked at yourself one day in the mirror and then boom, you're off on this other path. You're off on this other outcome. And obviously it took some time to be able to do that, but you do something like that, I agree with you 100%. You could do anything.
Oh, yes, sir.
You could certainly do wholesaling.
Oh, yes.
I mean, come on. That's just talking to people. That's just, reaching out to property owners that are their properties are in distress and having a quality conversation. I mean, compared to all the discipline that you had to lose all that weight, absolutely incredible. I love it.
I appreciate it.
Well, it's like every pound you lost, you made $1,000
Yeah.
this last year. You know what I mean? That's awesome.
Okay.
Well, let's get into your business because I'm not happy with this, Jamari.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I love your deals,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like that you're not consistent yet because we've been working together a year, and you've done 100,000, which is fantastic. But to get to the consistency, how do we get more out of the time? How are you going to? Now you talked about getting a VA, which is fine. But you still got to do it, right? You still got to put in the time and the effort. How can you get more out of your time now that we're on the home stretch to getting you out of your job? Can we push this thing through? This is like the last, 20 pounds you got to lose type of thing. This is the last, few deals to get to your goal. How do we do this? Tell me.
Yeah, man. Just having someone every day now making calls. So now when I'm making the calls, I'm not just talking to a bunch of people who don't want to sell. So now, as soon as I get somebody who's interested in selling, man, I can follow up with them. I can build some rapport with them. I can set up, go on appointments now. So that's going to just help out tremendously, man. Save me a lots of time, man. Because, hey, when you call somebody 10, 15, $20 in a row and you get no's, it's just like, dang, you get shot down a little bit. But when you finally get that one yes, man, then that just changes everything. So with that's going to help me talk to people who are actually interested in selling, man. That's going to be a game changer. That way I'm just talking to all the people who want to sell or maybe in the future want to sell. That way I can follow up with them.
What's your main markets?
Here in Alabama, man, Oxford, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. I'm actually close to the state line in Georgia too, so I'm about to go over to the Georgia line in Carrollton. I know there's a lot of guys in Carrollton in the TTP group, Douglasville. So guys, hit me up. I'm ready, man. We can squad up and do some deals, man. So I'm about to start calling everywhere and going everywhere doing deals.
So how are you going to balance that, Jamari? So you've got a caller. You're going to be doing the lead follow-up. If a seller wants to meet at Monday at 11 o'clock in the morning, how is that going to go?
Shoot, man, I was going to have to take a point at my job, bro, or take a day, man. Actually, when I had that big closing a couple weeks ago, whenever we were talking about it, had to take a point, man. Had to call in. Couldn't miss out that check, that closing, so... It's not too hard. Well, it is, but it's nice missing a day of work and making more than what I make in a year. So, man, this makes you think twice and get you motivated, man. So.
Yeah, we're going to break that deal here in a few minutes, so stick around for that. It's going to be absolutely incredible. What's your favorite list to call right now?
Man, still the multifamily, man. God, there's so many people I learned that in the group. So, man, this is some gold nuggets right here, guys. Multi-family, man. Oh my goodness, they'll pay big bucks for them. They'll pay big bucks for multifamily.
How many units? Because multifamily could be 1,000 units, it could be 2 units. So what's the bread and butter that you're going after?
Man, really, between a duplex all the way up to 30 to 40 units. That's just kind of the thing around here. But if I can get bigger, oh yeah, I'll definitely get bigger. And it's giving me experience with talking to owners who are in the real estate game, That way I'm meeting up with them, learning a lot of tips and stuff, taking notes and networking, getting my name out there. That's a huge thing, man. And I'll talk about that later. That's actually how I got this deal, was networking and following up, man. So
I love it. So how do you make contact with these property owners for multifamily besides referrals? If you wanted to reach out to them, I mean, a lot of these properties are in LLCs. Are you finding phone numbers for them?
yeah, man. I use backskiptracing.com, and that usually gives me a lot of them actually. And if not, then I pull up like where their office is located, and I'll send a direct letter to their office, or I'll go to their office and knock on the door and try to find somebody, find the owner.
Love it. Aren't you nervous to talk to people that own these big apartment complexes? Not huge, but 30 units that's a decent size apartment complexes. Aren't these people really savvy real estate investors? And do you feel comfortable just in your first year of real estate having these conversations?
Yeah, man. Actually, I do, just because I want to be like that myself one day. So I'm just willing to speak to them and learn, man. But just because when you talk to somebody like that, man, there's something in their voices is different, man. They're just different, man. Everything they say, man, they're so motivating, man. Everything about them just lights a fire in you, man. They're just different from normal people. So their mindset's completely different. The way they think, the way they do about everything. They read all the time. They're very disciplined people. It's real nice actually getting to talk to somebody like that and learning from them. So.
And the deals that you're finding, or the leads that you're finding, are these people that have owned them just a long time, and they don't really it's the condition of the property, they don't want to invest significant amount to bring it up to date, or are these property owners that have these properties vacant. They just, they've cash flowed it. They've done the depreciation for so long, and they're vacant. Like, what are the best deals when it comes to multifamily? Because if they're sitting there and these are savvy investors that read a lot and have good, clean properties, why would they ever sell it to us at a discount?
Well, actually, the two that I've done, man, there've been some motivation, man. I mean, they've had money, but they've owned them for, actually, the last one, they didn't own them very long, but when I drove by the property, the doors are boarded up. Half the doors is boarded up, so there's some kind of motivation there. And then the one before that, they were just older guy, 70 years old, kids didn't want them, so he just wanted to get rid of them. So, yeah, a lot of times just owning them for a while, or if they, a big thing, this is a good tip too, if their property is not in an LLC, if it's just in their personal name, that's another way, they might be pretty motivated if they ain't got in a business name like that. So that's another key for somebody, man. Another gold nugget right there.
Yeah, I find that often when we get those leads come across my desk and I see that they're multifamily owned by somebody's name, almost every time that we've talked to them, it's been like an inherited property.
Yeah.
Like they inherited the property. They weren't, really, they didn't go through the boot camp that we've been through, right? They didn't go through real estate investing to the point where they bought 2 greenhouses and turned that into one red hotel, like Monopoly style. They just inherited it, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just inherit this and put it in my name, and then they, want to sell it pretty quick. I mean, that's been my experience there. But let's break down this deal. Jamari, let's break down this most recent deal, because you posted to the Rhino Tribe, you posted to our private Facebook group, and you got, I don't know, 100 comments because it got everybody excited about it.
Thanks.
So let's break down how you found it, what the condition was, what the motivation was, how long did it take, what was the follow-up like, all those things.
Yeah, man. I was going to say one quick thing, man. Speaking of that, when I posted in the group, I had over 100 comments and like 150 likes. When I posted it on my my personal Facebook and Instagram, man, I barely got any. So
Right.
That's why I love being a part of the group, man. Everybody.
Well, we love you. We love you. We love your energy. We love that you're doing this. We love that you're full time working in a machine shop, and you're out there making a huge impact and changing lives and inspiring us at all of us. It's incredible. So we love you. Go ahead.
Appreciate that, man. But yeah, man. So this deal, it was a 16-unit apartment complex, man, and I actually got this deal. Let's see, it was April. So I got on a contract in February. I want to say Valentine's Day, February 14th of this year, and so. Last year around December, one of the guys who at the gym, big muscled up guy, drives a nice car. So if I see somebody at the gym who drives a nice car, I'm gonna go up to them and ask them what do they do for a living, And this guy happened to be a real estate investor. So he told me he owned an apartment complex in somewhere where I live in Anniston, in the hood. So he was 16 units, and he was getting ready to sell them. He told me he was going to sell them. He was going to get all of them rented out first, and then list them on MLS for about $400,000 to $500,000. And then February came. I asked him about it again because he ain't said nothing about it. Talked to him every day. He said, "Nah, man, I didn't sell them." So I rode by there, man. I saw all the or half of them were boarded up. So I was like, "Dang, man, he was for sure. He was about to sell them. He had 12 rented out." Getting some money in. What happened over these past few months? He was ready to listen to MLS and make a lick and get out of them, man. And so it didn't work out for him. So the realtor couldn't sell them. Big time realtor, actually, dude. One of the biggest realtors in the area, and they're about making a killing. He couldn't get them sold, man. And then I said, "Man, look, why don't you?" I followed up and I said, "Man, why don't you let me wholesale them for you?" That's what I do. I work with investors, man. They look for stuff like this. And he was just like, man, he said $200,000. So I looked at it, I was like, hold on, $200,000 for 16 units? I mean, I don't care if it's in a hood or not, man. I saw stuff on Facebook That was like
I
8.
got to do the math. I got to do the math on that. That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
bananas. Yeah. 12,500 a unit. Okay. Go ahead.
Motivation, man. But, you know, he's always been so good to me, man. He's always giving me books to read, helping me out in the gym and stuff. So I was like, man, look, let's do 210 just because I wanted to help him out. And not like he needed it, but I just felt, man, 200, man, I can't do that, man. I know it's a steal. Because
Yeah.
I wholesaled apartments last year for dang 55 a door. So I was like, man, yeah, let's just do 210 just because, you know, he's going to pay to get all the units cleaned out, the vacant units. And then him showing me and me showing the buyers, that's going to cost like $150 for the property managers to go out there every time, too. So I said, man, I think 210 is a good number. So, man, as soon as I got under contract, man, I got under contract, locked up for $210,000, right? So then,
How is the condition of this? Like, are half of the units burnt? You
no,
know what I mean? Or is the roof caved in? Is there like tremendous water damage? Like, what's going on with this
it
thing?
just boarded up, man. The insides were actually not too bad. It was just in the hood, vacant units, man. People going in there, cooking dough, you know, this stuff like that, man. But I knew it because when I rode by, I was like, man, they boarded up, man. There's motivation there. And
Yeah.
then, so I was like, man, I wonder why his realtor, like I said, he's the top dog around this area, dude. And he didn't get them sold. He had them sold, but the buyer backed out when they came and looked at them. So I was like, man,
What were they listed for? Do you remember?
I want to say, man, he lowered him down to about 220, 230.
On the market,
Yeah, yeah,
220.
yeah. That's how low he wasn't go for 500 to 450. Would have dropped him all the way down. He just ready to get rid of him, man, because they're a headache to him. You know, management kept calling them, police over there every night. Somebody got shot there. I just saw the article yesterday on Facebook about it. Honestly, yesterday, somebody got shot there last year. So the motivation was there, man. He was just tired of it. So he said, man, you just give me that number. You do whatever you want with it. And I was like, all right, man, cool. I can do that. So I got under contract, and then I listed it on Facebook, not Marketplace, but a local real estate group on Facebook, Birmingham Real Estate Investor Group. Man, my phone blew up, man. I listed it at like at 265, 265. And then my phone was going off the charts, man. I was like, holy crap, dude. I just put a number out there, really, man. And then I had a buyer. Actually, my phone was blown up. I had several buyers calling me, man. He sent me a contract right there and then. One of the buyers did. And then, I signed a
Sight
contract.
unseen?
Sir?
Sight unseen?
Sight unseen. Send me the
So
contract right
you,
there.
you you took a bunch of pictures of it, right?
Bunch of pictures of the property, man.
Did you put it in like a Dropbox link or a Google link, or just
No, yeah.
how'd they see the pictures?
I just took photos with my iPhone, man, and just posted them in the group on Facebook, man. And man,
How many pictures did you take?
probably about maybe 30 pictures. Man, like I said, dude, any investor sees that 16 units for 265, man, they're gonna hop on that, man. I mean,
Yep.
that's a stiller deal, man. And I actually cut myself short. I could have got a lot more. I'll tell you about that later. But anyways, man, yeah. So I told him I'd get it done in 30 days, quick, you know. So I got under contract that same day, sight unseen. Got the earnest money that same day too, 5,000. I made him put $5,000 earnest money down. You know how much I invested in this deal, Brent? $100 earnest money, $100. So I sent all that over to the attorney's office, man, in Birmingham, and then right after that, had another guy send me a contract for 285 in my email, sight unseen, and then another guy sent me one for 305, sight unseen. So I learned my lesson on that one, man. Slow down. Don't sell it in one day. You know, you wait till the end of the week. So I missed out on a lot of money on that one, man. So I'm telling you guys my mistake. I could have made $100,000 deal and been out of my job, but it was still good though, man. And it was a simple deal, man. You know, just simply just following up with the networking, first things first, networking, going up, talking to people, let them know what you do, and then following up with them too, And that was huge. That was huge.
And so what did you net? Did you sell it for the 265?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And then you closed, and how much did you make?
$60,000, man.
Oh.
Net. 60K. Woo! Boom.
Well, I thought you got locked it up for 210 and you sold it for 265. That's 55,000. How'd you get 60 out of it?
Man, actually, it was 270. 270.
270.
Yeah, 270.
Got it to two. You put it out at 270. You don't even remember. That's how good this was. Listen, I've had deals like that, Jamari. I've had deals where I made over 50,000 and I just blank out.
That's
you know what I mean? Like I don't remember what I sold it for. I don't remember anything. The only thing I remember is like what the check was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know what we sold it for. Gun to my head, I wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
It was crazy.
Absolutely incredible. $60,000 deal. By the way, could have been 70 if you just gave him what he wanted, which was 200, but you gave him 210, which is fine. I get it. Done that before, certainly. And then if you and listen, we beat ourselves up when we get higher offers afterwards, but the fact is you never know if they're going to really close. You don't know if they're really legit. Now, sometimes if you get it from somebody that's really well known and has a really good reputation, you're like, oh, next one I will. But this is how you learn. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, that's the lesson in taking some time to review all the offers is when you have something that's really that hot and a lot of people reaching out is really important. And what Jeremy does, my acquisition manager, just to give you some tactical tips to implement into your business, he's saying, listen, I've got somebody else that's putting in an offer. I can't make a decision until I see it. And so that makes the other buyer go, well, I could give you more, or okay, let me know, or whatever else. And most of the time, the buyer is not like, well, take it or leave it. It's here right now. You got to make a decision right now. Typically when you have something that there's a lot of action on, you can pull back, pause it. I've got some other offers coming in. I got to review that first before I make a decision. Is that cool? Do you want to still keep your offer? And if not, no big deal. Like I think he pulls it. He like pulls back from their offer. Like if you want to just cancel your offer right now, I totally understand. But if you can be patient with me, it'll be in the running for sure.
Yeah, man, and
that's how you get the extra time.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna start using that. And I closed one for a single family home for $10,000 in January. So
come on, what are we doing here? Come on.
Boom. Yeah,
I love it. Congratulations. You're right there. Here's the deal. From the time of this podcast right now, I want you out of that job in 90 days.
Yes, sir.
Done?
Yeah, man. We got to. Yeah, I'm tired.
I mean, listen, it just became spring. By the time it's fall, you're not working there anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yes. I need you to quadruple, 10x, do whatever you need to do with your amount of leads and opportunities because you are too good. I mean, you are too good, obviously, in front of property owners. You're too good in front of your buyers. You make this a smooth process for everybody. The world deserves Jamari DeAndre Thomas to be in this business full time.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely, man. And
good.
And that's also, I want to give another tip, too, to some people listening, man. That's how I got a lot of buyers off that local real estate group, man. And I got a lot of added to my cash buyers list. I got a ton of buyers now. A ton.
Awesome.
That's another way to get.
Yeah, listen, I mean, that's one of the techniques that we teach is getting into those groups and really finding out who the buyers are. And another tip in those groups is reach out to the person that created the group. Because typically the person that created the group has a really good reputation or people wouldn't be in that. And they know everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? They know everybody because a lot of people find those groups from meetups or from just reputation, or somebody refers them to the group, and that's why they're in the group. They can find deals that way. And so reaching out to the creator or moderator or whatever it is in the Facebook groups is really powerful as well, and they kind of connect you with everybody else.
Yeah, man. And I want to say, I have so many people message me every day asking me should they join the TTP program. Yes, definitely do it, man. Like I said, I didn't have the money in my account, and I swiped that American Express credit card. I ain't gonna say the price, but I didn't have enough in my account, so I swiped it, and I got it paid for it. And I think it was maybe 60 days later. So it's definitely worth it, man.
I'll tell you what, the tribe is better for you being in it. I'll tell you that. That's absolutely for sure. You've inspired so many people. People know your story. This is the second time on the podcast for a reason, because you're incredible. Listen, I'm not going to stand for you not being full-time in this business. You got to go, bro.
Yeah, man.
90 days. I am putting it in my phone, and I'm going to have an alarm on there, and I'm going to have it 30 days, 60 days from now. I'm calling you.
Yeah, please do, man. 10X, man. You got to, man. It's mentally draining, this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mentally draining, man.
100%.
Especially after you get that big check, man, when you make your more than your yearly salary in a couple weeks, man, it's in your mind every day.
Yep.
So
absolutely. Well, absolutely incredible. Give some people some inspiration. Give them something that they can implement right now in their business before we close out this podcast.
Yeah, guys, man, just start networking with people. Let people know what you do. And if you're somebody that's doing what you want to do in real estate, man, just talk to them, reach out to them. And then drive them for dollars. Just start there. That's just how I got my first few deals. Driving for dollars, man. And the multifamily list, that's where I got the big checks from. So I learned that in the group. So multifamily, hit the list up, man. I'm telling you, you make some good money, man. Blessings changed my life, man. So still changed.
Awesome. Jamari, so great to have you back on here. Thank you so much for getting on here and giving us some incredible inspiration. And, let's go full time. All right?
Yes, sir, man.
All right, done deal. And that's it, guys. Thank you for listening to another podcast episode of Wholesaling Inc. If you are interested in joining the most proactive group in real estate investing, the most proactive tribe community in real estate investing, it is the Rhino Tribe. Go to wholesalinginc.com. Wholesalinginc.com. Check it out. If it feels good in your gut, sign up for a call. We look forward to working with you. And that's it. On behalf of Jamari and myself, we want to say, see you later. We love you, and go out there and talk to people. Till next time. See ya.